Ow! Do you hear that? Hey guys, today I'm doing my January wrap-up. I read 5 books this month, which is quite exciting. Usually I do not read that many books. I read about 2 or 3 books a month, and because that's everything I have time for. But December and January like my best reading months because it's the beginning of the year and I get really excited and I'm like, I'm gonna start the year strong. So January is 5 books. I know a lot of booktubers will be like, it's nothing, but hey, it's good for me, so no judging, no. Okay, so let's just start with the first book I read this month, and I really love this book. I think this book is gonna make to my top like 5 or 10 favorite books of the year. Like, I'm that confident, and I know I started the year like with a bang. Like, it was great. And it's A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. I meant to read this book last year, but I never got around reading it. I was putting it aside, and I'm so blaming myself for doing that. Like, this was such a good read. This book is about a man called Ove, and he's like a quirky, funny old man, and funny to everyone else but not him. He's like he has this old-fashioned views about the life and how things have to be done. He's real particular, and this is what makes the book so funny and relatable. I met so many people that think like Ove and they don't find it funny. I really like this book because I was laughing aloud so many times, trying to actually annotate my book and put like little notes and stuff so I can read it to my husband. And I was like, hey, look, let me read you some funny stuff. And he's like, this is not funny, this is how I feel, this is how I think. And I'm like, well, dang. At the same time, this book is really thought-provoking about a loss of your, love of your life, and how Ove deals with it is beyond my understanding. I really like this main character. I got attached to him from chapter 1, and I cheered for him and I cried for him and laughed with him, and just this was such a wholesome read. Going into the book, I was kind of scared that I will not get the humor and I will not laugh and I will not like the book, and I really wanted to like the book, and I'm so glad I did. I gave it 5 stars. I honestly want to read more by Fredrik Backman like right away. I am so hooked. I think this could be potentially one of my new favorite authors of all time. But I really would like to read more by him. I think this book was so well crafted. It was funny and I cried and gave me all the feelings. It's almost like Mitch Albom. Almost. Not quite, but it's so close. It was an amazing read. I highly recommend this one, actually. The next book I read, it was like a palate cleanser book that I read in a day, so I can kind of just move on my next read that I'm gonna mention, and you will see why. And this is the Erzrat's Elevator. Did it. And this is book 6 in a series of unfortunate events. I've been reading a series of unfortunate events for like 3 years. This is my 4th year reading it, and I loved the first 3 books. Like, I read them back to back to back and I loved them, but then there was a lot of repetition in the plot and every single book, and I kind of got tired of it. But it's fun sometimes to pick up an easy read like this middle grade and read it in a day. And it's really nice to enjoy the characters and whimsical stuff that's happening with them. I usually try to at least read 1 book a year of this series because I feel like if I read more I get overwhelmed. I have not read this when I was young, and so this is my first time reading it. And at the same time, after I finished the book, we've watched the Netflix TV show, which a little bit different, but I like it. I don't know, it's just a really nice, fast read. I mean, 3 stars, it was okay, maybe 3.5, yeah. The next book hurts me so much, and it's not because I rated it low or rated it really high, but it's something that I expected more of, and it's Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I started this series back in 2018, again reading a book a year. I kind of like developed a tradition to start a year with reading Leigh Bardugo. This is my first fantasy series that I've ever read in my entire life, honestly, like what I've been doing. But it was really interesting to see what the booktube is so, fascinated about. And this world is based on Russian culture, and I was really interested. I was like, okay, let's see what you got for me. And it was really nice to like know how the towns were called and how she came up with the names. Like I can see the relation between this and like Russian towns, and the stuff that they use, like kefta, it's in Russian it's kofta, which means like a sweater. So she like replaced one letter and came up with a new word. So like stuff like that was really fun. I like how she put kvass as like alcoholic beverage, which is, it's not. A lot of people compare it to the beer, but anyway, about the book. I read the first book and I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I see what the hype, like, I didn't love it. It wasn't like a mind-changing, mind-blowing experience, but I loved it enough to I thought, I'll continue the series. And then last year I read Siege and Storm, and then the story came back to me. Siege and Storm was a really wholesome book, and I loved it a lot because of this, because of the pace, because of the plot, because of the just things that happened. It was a really well action-packed book, and I expected this to be like even better, you know. It's the finale, it's supposed to be like grand, and it's just, it didn't really give me what I've been hoping for. I still rated the book 4 stars, but I wish I could have given it 5. All the others I give 4.5, and this one was just 4. It was okay, it was good, but I don't know. Should I make a video about entire series and just like spoiler you with everything? I feel like it's really hard to talk about the plot in this one because, you know, it's the 3rd book in a series and the final one. But the final battle between Alina and Darklin's army, I hoped that it would be more grand, more epic, and it was just kind of the ending was way too convenient. Like, I predicted this ending like right away because the ending was the most convenient, plain, and I just wish that Leigh Bardugo would deliver me something that would just blow my mind, be like, wow, she really did not go this convenient route, but she did. And I mean, I guess it satisfied a lot of people. It didn't satisfy me as much as I wanted to be, but it was still, I mean, a good series, and maybe I'll make a video about the entire series, we'll see. But yeah, that's just the 4 stars. Okay, so the next book I read, I saw in Barnes & Noble, bought it like brand new because I thought the concept was so like amazing, and unfortunately the execution did not do it for me. And I'm talking about As You Wish by Chelsea Sidoti. So this book is about this town called Madison, somewhere in Nevada, that not a lot of people know about. And they have like this magical cave that when you turn 18, you're able to go in there and make your only wish, and this wish will come true, like 100%. And this sounds amazing. Like, I thought that this would be like more of like maybe horror, spooky stuff, but it was just so plain. It's like over 400 pages. Like, this is as big as the fantasy book, like 2 pages less. So I thought that they would just give me so much, but this book was so long, unnecessarily long, so plain. I did not like the main character. He was, the main character is called Eldon, and even though his life is not the easiest life, but he was just complaining so much about everything, and there was so much repetition in this book. Like, he was complaining about like his sister and his life and his wish, and there's something happens, and then the same as his wish, his sister, his life, and the same complaints going on throughout the entire book. There were some exciting parts about this book that I thought, ooh, this is gonna be interesting. There was this girl called Nori, Eleanor, and she was supposed to be like LDS, and that I am LDS. I was really interested to see like how the author would write her, and I really liked how they described her and what she believed in, and things that she says. It was really great. So there is like a countdown to his wish, and at the same time they're like the wish history of people he talks to. And there was a wish history of Nori, so she never told anyone her wish, and I was really excited to see what she wished for. Does it relate to God? Because everybody thought that she wished something about the God, and I was like, what is she gonna wish for? And I read it and I was like, this is such an average wish. And this book makes you hype up about the idea, about possibilities, and it just doesn't deliver. At the same time, like his wish, again, we get really hyped up about his wish. There's a countdown for like 27 days or 28, like a month, okay? The countdown to his wish, and he makes a wish, and you're like, well, was so obvious. This book got me so frustrated, honestly. So far in this channel, I talked about the books that I love and I'm excited about, and this was just, I can probably make an entire review about this book. I'm just really, really upset that I spent like a week reading this book, this 400 pages of boredom and nothingness. Even though this book proposes a lot of cool questions of like what it could mean for people to have this wish come true and what the possibilities, everything this book says is that it will all fail. We don't need wishing because it would not work out anyway for anyone. I don't agree with this book. I don't agree with this character. It's a 3-star for me. I feel like I can go even lower. I probably will. I do not recommend this one. Do not waste your money on this book. Okay, so my last read for January was the physics book of Deliverance Dane. So I bought this book thrifted and it was totally a cover buy. Like, I thought that it was really mysterious and cool. You cannot really get a synopsis of what this book is about like anywhere. It doesn't say. It's only blurbs all over the book. The only thing is written on this book is that it's Salem, Massachusetts, 1681. Fear and suspicion lead a small town to unspeakable acts. And then Marblehead, Massachusetts, 1991, a young woman is about to discover that she is tied to Salem in ways she never imagined. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, so this book is about this girl named Connie, and she's in Harvard University to study colonial studies, I believe. And it starts with her taking her exam, and this guy asks her about the witches, and she gets it all right. So there's a lot of cool like history about witches and Salem Panic and stuff like that, which was really nice to, you know, start the book with. And then her mom asks her to take care of the house which belonged to her grandmother, and so she spends the entire summer there. She's supposed to like clean the house and sell it, but she finds this key in the Bible that says Deliverance Dane, and she's in a search to find out what it means and who it belongs to and stuff about it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. So even though Connie is the main character in this book, we go back in time in Salem, Massachusetts in 1681 to see the trial of Deliverance Dane, that she was accused of being a witch and doing some witchcraft, and it was really interesting. I feel like the story was so not well organized, that there were so many plot holes. I felt like it wasn't complete. I couldn't believe it. And I know that this is like, it's based on a real story. She had like this creepy professor that he kind of made the main part. I'm not gonna say a lot about it, but he wanted to make a philosopher's stone. And it's kind of started going into completely different direction. Like, you want the witches, you want the witch trial, you want all this magical stuff, and it goes to the crazy professor who wants to make a philosopher's stone. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm really happy I didn't like waste my time actually physically reading this book, but it's really painful to go to my work for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row and listen to this while I'm driving at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I gave it like 3 stars, but again, as you wish, probably I could go even lower. I just won't because I'm nice, but I do not recommend this one. And do not buy books based on the cover. Okay, so that's all the books I read in January. Let me know if you read any of those, if you like any of those, if you hate any of those. I'll be interested to discuss them with you. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next one.